My name is Avery, and I'm going to speak briefly on why I think the U.S. Constitution is still relevant to today, and why we will never outlive the ideals that were set forth by the Constitution. Our great nation was built on the platform of diversity, and our countrymen have always listened to the task at hand, but have been able to do so because our forefathers had the foresight to think long and hard about why republics always seem to fail and governments became apprehensive. Our forefathers concluded that human beings alone could not be trusted with power, as they would misuse it to make themselves wealthy, to hold office without a fair election, and to use the power only to benefit themselves, their friends, and supporters. So the Constitution was written with two primary safeguards: to protect against the institution of power being placed in only one person. The Constitution has divided the power among as many federal institutions as they thought possible without paralyzing the government. So we have three branches of government: the executive, the legislative, and the judicial. The Constitution also limited the role of government and placed as much freedom as possible in the hands of individuals, which we also see in our Bill of Rights. We only have to look around us today to see that these ideals of the Constitution are still in play. Colorado, after a long and hard battle, has legalized marijuana for both medical and recreational use, as this was what the Colorado state government thought was best for the people of the state. Currently, other states are also reviewing Colorado state law to determine its role in upholding the wishes of the people of the state. Recently, the Supreme Court, our judicial governmental body, established to uphold the ideals of the Constitution, rule on a case that protected states and individual rights. This case was the right of gay people to be officially united in marriage. That was recognized by the state. Not all states have adopted this union as an official for their state, but the ruling of the Supreme Court passed that it was up to each individual state government to determine if this act was in the best interest of their people. Another very hotly contested battle today is the right to bear arms, which is a right that was granted under the Bill of Rights, a set of rights that were added as a separate but integrated part of the Constitution that spoke directly to what is meant by individual rights. At the end of February of this new year, the Supreme Court declined hear the political volatile issue on gun control by leaving intact the three court rulings rejecting challenges to federal and state laws, leaving intact the Second Amendment of the U.S. Constitution, guaranteeing an individual's rights to bear arms. Lastly, another example of this relevancy of our Constitution today is the use of prayer before government meetings. In 1983, the Supreme Court ruled that legislators could begin their sessions with a prayer, as long as there was no attempt to proselytize or disparage any faith, and as long as the process for selecting the prayer giver would not be discriminatory. However, recently the case of prayer came before the Supreme Court after a court in New York from 1999 to 2008 opened its sessions with exclusive Christian prayers. Now the Supreme Court would start each of their public sessions with the word God before every public session, has to determine if it is different as a legal matter for government meetings to include more explanatory sectionary prayers. There are just three examples of the active role of the Constitution in our lives today. I believe with the Constitution, we as a people will not have the right to argue cases that are important to us as people and to be heard by many. So the Constitution continues to play a vital role in maintaining our country as a democracy. Thank you.